Welcome to the Net Front Presence. I'm Jeff Gordon, the Post-Dispatch, joined by our beat reporter Matthew DeFranks, and this is the They May Never Lose Again edition of the Net Front. Matthew, they may never lose again.
Normally I would be like, I don't know, it feels like they might lose again, but Gordo, I think you may be correct in this instance that they will never lose another game here. It's it's funny. I show up to morning skates or to practices, and usually you're brainstorming ideas and you're thinking about what you're writing that day, and I basically show up and I think, well, they're going to play good hockey and they're going to win a game. So that's the same old thing. That's just been that's just been happening for weeks and weeks now. And I guess the caveat this weekend was that it wasn't the best hockey when they played Chicago and Nashville and even at times against Vancouver. But the fact is that they are overcoming whatever mistakes they made. They are playing a solid B or C game when earlier in the season you might have needed an A game to pull out wins. And right now they're you know winning because they're 4 for 5 on the penalty kill yesterday against Nashville, or because Joel Hofer has gotten hot in that as Jordan Binnington's backup, or because Zach Bolduc is scoring goals because Robert Thomas is producing. Like there are so many different things going well for them that even when one thing doesn't go right, they have 15 other things to pick them up and move on. Like this is a team that's played some really good hockey, and as of taping today, 6 wins in a row for them.
Pretty impressive. And of course, over the weekend, they finally hit a little bit of adversity and had to use some different players. Oscar Sundqvist has got the wheels that need some rest for sure. Had some illness hit the team. So the team, had to make some changes, and they just, put Alexander Texier in. He does okay. You bring Dalibor Dvorsky. This is our new topic. So let's talk a little bit about him. He pops in for his NHL debut. And although he looks, when you stand next to him, 16, 17 years old, in the game, he played a grown man game out there, just looked comfortable, seemed fine.
Yeah, I think lost in the fact that he is a 19-year-old. He's a teenager. He's in his second year in North America. Top prospects, number 10 pick from 2023. Lost in all of that is that he's basically been a professional for a while. He has a very professional approach to the game of hockey because of where he played and what he did before. Like when he was drafted in 2023, I believe he'd already been playing 2 years in Sweden professionally. And so like when he comes over to Sudbury last year, like he'd been playing 2 years professionally in Sweden. And so when he comes over to Sudbury last year and he's treated like an 18-year-old that he is, living with a billet family. He goes from living on his own in Sweden to coming over and living with a family. And then, this year he's probably one of the youngest players in the AHL at 19 years old. He's living on his own in Springfield. Like this is not a normal teenager. Like he's a lot more mature for his age than a lot of other players that would be. And this is a guy who's been to 4 World Juniors. He captained Slovakia. Like he's 19. He's a top prospect, and he's already a pro basically. And that's what every coach that has coached him has said. And that you can see that in the way he kind of handles himself. Like the moment didn't feel all that big for him last night. I'm sure it was slightly nerve-wracking and very exciting for him to play in his first NHL game against Nashville, but it didn't feel like he was out of place. I mean, he made some nice play on that power play goal by Texier to set up Bolduc in the slot, who finds Thomas and Texier. So yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time to be a Blues fan, just because when you think a few months ago, you're thinking about, well, will Dvorsky come up in March or April when the Blues are out of it and you want to see the kids play, right? Those are the circumstances that you might have been thinking about seeing Dvorsky in the NHL. And suddenly it's these circumstances where he's able to kind of blend in a way. Like he's not being asked to do a lot. Like he played 10 minutes last night, a little bit on the power play, and like he's not being asked to save the season as it would have been maybe a month ago, where you call him up and you maybe give him second line minutes and hope that maybe they can make a push to the playoffs. Now they're in the push. He's playing meaningful hockey, and he's not being asked to do a ton. He's playing third line minutes and playing some power play, and I think this is an ideal situation for him to be brought into right now.